celebrating 75 years of service to education. Bal Bharti Public School.
Good morning, students. After viewing this picture, what you are thinking of? Yes, we are going to learn one more topic, that is joint Hindu family business. And this form of business organization, it exists only in India, and it is carried on by the Hindu family who are living in a joint family. Now let's see what is the meaning of joint Hindu family business. So it is a form of business organization which is owned and carried on by the members of Hindu undivided family. That means family will be undivided, it will be a joint family under the control and direction of the head of the family, who is the eldest member of the family, known as Karta or Mukhiya. That means that family will be headed by the oldest or the eldest person who will control and manage the business, and that person will be known as Karta or Mukhiya. Now let's see what are the other concept of joint Hindu family business. So this form of business, it is governed by Hindu law, that is Hindu Succession Act 1956. It is governed by that act. Second is, an individual become member by taking birth in the particular Hindu family. So that's why no agreement is required in this form of organization, as one can become member only by taking birth in that joint Hindu family. Next is, 3 successive generations can be members in the family. So 3 successive generations, maybe grandfather, father, and then the son. So 3 successive generations are allowed to join in family business. Then in joint Hindu family business, the eldest one who used to manage the business, he is known as Karta. So here the oldest, the eldest one, he is known as Karta. And apart from Karta, the other members, they are known as co-partners. They are known as co-partners. So the eldest member, he will be known as Karta or Mukhiya, and the other members who used to support the Karta, they will be known as co-partners. Then regarding joint Hindu family business, all the members of the family have equal ownership right over the ancestral property. All are having the equal right, because for carrying on joint Hindu family business, what is required? Joint Hindu family and also some ancestral property on which the business is done. So all the members, they are having equal ownership right over the ancestral property. Then there are 2 systems of Hindu undivided family prevailing in India. First is Daya Bhag system and second is Mitakshara system. So Daya Bhag system, it prevails only in the state of West Bengal, and under this system both male and female can become co-partners in HUF. That means both male and female members, they are given equal right in the ancestral property. But second system, which is Mitakshara system, which prevails all over India except West Bengal, only male can become co-partners. That means under this system only male members are given ownership right in the ancestral property. But however, as the verdict has been given by the Supreme Court that both male and female, they will be having the equal right in the ancestral property. So that's why we will assume that all over India now Daya Bhag system is prevailing, because as per the verdict of Supreme Court, both male members and the female members will have equal right in the parental or the ancestral property. So that's why Mitakshara system, we can say that it no more exists. Earlier it was there, but with the verdict of Supreme Court, it has given equal rights to the female members also. We can say that this system is now not valid, it is void now. Then features of HUF. First is the formation. So there should be at least 2 members and some ancestral property. So at least 2 members are required and some ancestral property. पूर्वजों का कुछ property होना चाहिए. Then an individual automatically become member by birth. That's why no agreement is required for becoming the member. One can become member only by taking birth in that particular family. And Hindu Undivided Family Business, it is governed by Hindu Succession Act 1956. Then regarding the liabilities, so here the liability of Karta, it is unlimited. That means the personal assets of the Karta can be claimed by the creditors in case the business assets are not sufficient for the recovery of debts or liabilities. However, the liability of co-partners, it is limited. And limited to what extent? Limited to the extent of share in the property of the business. The co-partners, the percentage of share that they are holding in the ancestral property, only to that extent they are liable to pay the liabilities. So the liability of Karta, it is unlimited, whereas liability of co-partner, it is limited to the extent of share in the property. If somebody is having 10% share, they will be liable to pay only 10% of liabilities. If someone is having 20% share in the parental property or ancestral property, they will be liable to pay only 20% of the liabilities. Then regarding the control, so in joint Hindu family business, it is fully controlled by the Karta. The Karta has a full control over the family business, and his decisions are binding on co-partners. So Karta is a whole soul of the joint Hindu family business. That's why he is known as Karta or Mukhya. And whatever decision the Karta will take, that decisions, they are binding on co-partners. So co-partners, they have to follow those decisions which are taken by Karta. The next is regarding the continuity. So feature of continuity is there in the HUF, because in joint Hindu family business, it is not affected by death or incapacity of Karta or co-partners. In event of death of the Karta, next eldest member takes the position of Karta. So in case the Karta dies or other co-partners dies, it doesn't affect the continuity of the business. In case the Karta dies, the other eldest member, on event of the death, another eldest member will become Karta, and then he will continue the business with other co-partners. Okay. The next is whether the minor can become the member or not. So yes, in JUF, minor can also become a member, because an individual become member by taking birth in the particular Hindu family. Now since membership is by birth, minors can also be the members of the business. So it is a form of business organization where even the minors, they can participate in the business and they will get share of profit in the business. Now next, last one is no maximum limit. So as far as the number of members are there is no maximum limit on the number of members of a joint Hindu family business. However, only 3 successive generations can be the member in the family. So restriction regarding number of members are not there, but one clause is there that three successive, one by one, gap should not be there, three successive generation can be the members in the family. Thank you.